Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we're back to our Stellaris 4.0 super in-depth tutorial. We are in the mid-game. So I went back and checked episode 1. Can't figure out how you could tell where you set your early game, your mid-game, your end game in the advanced settings. So I just went back to video 1 to watch. But I think what we set up was 2200 to 2250 to 2100 with an end game of end of the end game at 2350. So yeah, 22 to 2250 to 2300 to 2350. There you go. Woo. So yeah, we're into the mid game already. It's going. It's not as much going on right now. We'll just play here. Let's just run the clock forward. I'm honestly not 100% sure that we're going to get a satisfying end game event. I don't know if the game will trigger it at 2300. If it's too soon, it would be considered too weak. I am a little bit interested, though, in finding out about the ship design for the Freestwanians, who we hate. They hate us, right? We're passives. We don't hate anybody. Wink. But they want to destroy us, so we want to be prepared for that. So check this out. Let's look at some alien ships real quick. Let's take a look at the Confederacy of Ur-Itha's ship. You can see that we actually do have some intel. Intel. Yeah, it's telling. Here we go. If we click this little magnifying glass, sometimes this will be grayed out and you can't access it. Either the ships are maybe too far away or you don't have enough intel on them. But because we have a pretty good relationship with the Ur-Ithans, or yeah, whatever they're called. Yeah. Here we go. Hull points, armor, shields, the speed, evasion levels, damage per tick or day, experience rank. So it's a mixture of level 2 ceramo metal armor, 2 slots of level 1 shields. And they're running some afterburners, which is giving them additional evasion, driving up this evasion here. We're looking at frigates. Yeah. So beyond that, let's look at their weapons systems. They're running small coil guns and space torpedoes. I noticed that the space torpedo is 100% shield penetration, and the small coil gun is plus 50% shield damage. What can that tell us about how we should design our ships if we were to, say, fight the Ur-Itha? We're not going to. We have very good relations, but there's two things we want to do. We want to mitigate the damage they do to us, and we want to maximize the damage we can do to them. So based off of their weapons build out right now on these ships, we can see that they're really effective at penetrating or wearing down or completely bypassing shields. So if specifically we knew we wanted to go to war with the Ur-Itha, we would get rid of all the shields on our ships. We'd go to our corvettes in the ship designer, and we would put armor all the way across. That would help mitigate their weaponry. Now, how would we be more effective against them? Well, that's a little trickier. They're running a balanced layout. 2 armor slots, 2 shield slots. However, their armor is a higher, is a higher technological level. It's level 2 armor. The shields are only level 1. Therefore, we would want to put weaponry on our ships that are more effective at chewing through or bypassing armor, not shields. The shields are already weaker. The armor is the superior protection. That's what we'd have to design our weapons to get through. So things to consider. Otherwise, what are they running? Level 3 reactors, level 1 hyperdrive, level 1 thrusters, chemical thrusters still, if you can believe that. Level 2 sensors, and no ships, no combat computer yet at this point. So yeah, that's all there is. Let's see. Who else can we see? This is the Talacuran. And we can just jump in. Let's see. Let's click on, what do we got here? Frigates, corvettes, a destroyer. I want to take a look at these destroyers. How do we get to these? There we go. Okay. I had to click up here. Here we go. We can see their details as well. I want to take a look at the destroyer. So considerably more powerful. Now, granted, these are not Federation ships with our combined technology. I believe this is just their technology, only it's their fleet. I think. Not 100% sure. But here we go. lesser level reactor, level 1 hyperdrive, level 1 thruster, level 1 sensors. So in a sense, for the core components, they're actually behind the Eartha, technologically speaking. However, down here in the utilities or the defensive armor and shields, they're higher level shields, higher level armor. It's an even mix. So you would be able to gain no real benefit. There's no way to design our ships to tear through their stuff. They're balanced. They're going to be effective as they can be against anything we could throw out there. So, okay. What about weaponry? Well, it looks like they're relatively low technology on their weaponry. They're running blue lasers, level 2, and then we have level 1 nuclear missiles. So nuclear missiles are great at shield penetration. The blue laser is bad at shield damage, better armor and hull, although they're running a lot more nukes, so most of the firepower is going to be coming through in the form of nukes. That being said, if I had to design our ships defensively, I would kit out with more armor. Because all they're going to be able to hit is with that one medium blue laser. Put a lot of armor on there. Should be able to do pretty well. But shields, these nukes are going to tear through the shields, pretty readily. So, yeah, they're relatively well balanced. I mean, look, they have one weapon that's good at armor and hull damage, and they have other weapons that are good at shield penetration. So they're kind of hitting both facets, and then they're really balanced on defense. So I thought we'd take a look at that real quick. Now, what I want to know is, what the heck are the Free Estranians running? I can't see. Let's do this. Let's send our science ship to Troitum. Essentially, I want to get this ship as far into their territory as we can. Let's run this forward. Let's just see what we can sense. I mean, I assume our science ship is going to have as good sensors as anyone. Nothing. I literally can't see a single Free Estranian ship anywhere. Let's do this. Let's jump to government. Let's go to policies and edicts, and let's click on our crystalline sensors for just a little bit. So you can see this costs space nuts, but ultimately what this does, by employing rare crystals to boost our sensors, we're able to gain a crystal clear, wink, picture of our surroundings. Sensor range +1. Okay, sure. Let's run it. We'll run it through the month here. And possibly when it refreshes, no, nothing. The only other thing I can think of is to maybe send in our warships. Would they have better sensors? I'm asking. I don't know. Let's take a look at what we got corvettes. God, we got a lot of ships in this fleet. A lot of corvettes. And raiders? Let's take a look at the raiders real quick. We are running gravatic sensors, so that's a sensor range of 2, hyperlane detection range of 3. Let's check a corvette real quickly, right here. Oh, wow. Oh, that is so interesting. Our corvettes, in general, do not have good sensors. Our raiders have better sensors. We got those raiders from completing an event. We did not make those. So that is a subtle thing that I don't think I've ever, in years of playing this game, ever noticed. You could potentially use one of the event gift ships, one of the event reward ships you get in the early part of the game, could have a better sensor suite that you could then use to probe into alien space. Go figure. I didn't know that. So let's actually send the fleet over real quick to Troitum and see if we can reveal some Free Estranian fleets real quick here. We're just running the clock anyway. Oh, we got something. Okay, that worked. That actually worked. The slightly better, the level 2 sensor suite from the Raider ships. That's cool. That's even with our crystal sensors on. Now, that being said, I think we can turn off the crystal sensors now. We don't want to leave that on because it is unnecessarily using crystals. Let's turn that off. Oh my gosh. We have terraforming gases. Are we terraforming? Hold on. Yes, we are terraforming. A long time, a decade. So let's actually turn on our terraforming gases. Boom. By employing exotic gases in the terraforming process, we're able to achieve progress at a much faster rate. Terraforming speed plus 50%. That's really good. It's just going to cost us 1 exotic gas. Cool. And then, yeah, so we did all that through policies and edicts. Again, that's our specialty with our build that we did, is that we get to just turn on and run all these edicts extremely cheap. It's like our superpower. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool power. So that being said, these are not, well, they are not warships. They are aliens. And we actually got a first contact. So hold on. Right here, our scanners can make no sense of the strange vessel. So we can kind of see him, and we can see the shadow shape here, so we know it's a space fauna. That looks like a Tianki space whale, if I had to guess. There's a science ship from the Freoswanians. I do not have enough intel on the ship design, so I can't see it, even though I can sense it. And we have a red here, alien vessel, the Mem aliens. And these look like, what's the word? I think it's space squid. Space amoebas, I think, is what that shape is. Investigate? I would love to. We need to study these aliens to first contact. Okay, very cool. Let's do that. Let's jump up here. We made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Orval system. Interesting. Let's assign an envoy. Are any of our people... I don't think there's any difference in their capabilities. Just the name, or the age. But yeah, here we go. Big Alex. This is our go-to guy, Big Alex. So difficulty's 5, which is easy. Skill bonus 3. We have a +2 from first contact experience. Is that coming from Big Alex? Oh, those are Empire modifiers. And our code breaking is a +1. So make contact with them pretty quick. That's awesome. But that worked. We were able to use our ships to probe into Freoswanian space. Now, we'll run the clock and we'll just keep an eye out. We want to see one of their warships to see if we can scan it. Again, we can modify our entire fleet to potentially be really effective against killing Freoswanians, because they might attack us, and then we'll just... what else can we do? We have a little bit of headroom on our naval cap. Do we have the alloy to build into that? Yeah, a little bit of alloy. I want to see here. By the way, check out what happened to our terraforming. This dropped us down to 2,100 instead of 3,200. So, cut it in half. I feel like it's a third reduction, not a half. 32 should have gone to 1,600 days. It didn't, though. It really didn't. So, it seems like 50%. This is like a half of a half. I don't know. I don't know what I'm not calculating right there, but it's definitely feels like more of like 1/3 off, like 33% than 50%. I guess I'm bad at math. Or maybe the Stellaris paradox people are bad at math. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's weird. It is weird. It's not 50%. I don't know what that means. So, what else we got going on here? Elisa Prime is ready to upgrade the planet to the planetary capital. That's cool. Things to think about. Things to think about here. We have a decent amount of strategic resources, although we are very tight on rare crystals. Get a little bit of living metal coming in. How's our market situation? We are buying 3 crystals. We're buying a living metal just because we have access to it. We're selling a little bit of exotic gases. We're selling a little bit of volatile boats just because we have surpluses. So what I want to do real quickly is just go to Fula. Do we have rare resource production buildings going anywhere? So I click on civilian industries. Let's go to replace. I'm not going to replace it, but I just want to see. We can make a chemical plant. So that's really the problem, is we don't have all the buildings. We would need, so a chemical plant's good, meaning we could essentially place a chemical plant in any civilian or heavy industry or any regular building slot. Bear in mind, though, this is interesting. When you read the chemical plant or the rare crystal plant or the volatile, this is volatile notes, or the space nuts, rare crystals, exotic gases, volatile motes. Look at this. Planet modifiers, upkeep per 100 metallurgists plus 1.25 minerals. It's a lot more minerals running into your metallurgists. It's also, the upkeep's the same for your artisans. is 1.25. Now, if you only have metallurgists on one planet, no artisans, this is going to be one or the other, but whatever. Just know that it's going to burn through a lot more of your minerals real quickly. But what you then get is, per 100 metallurgists or artisans, you will gain 0.25 volatile motes or exotic gases or rare crystals, depending on the building type. Why do I point this out? Because if you were to build a chemical plant on a planet that didn't have artisans or metallurgists, the building doesn't give you anything. And I'm pointing this out because some people may be coming back to Stellaris after a while off. The old strategic resource buildings, the base ones, the base 3, would give you jobs making... It would give you, like, I don't know, like crystal distillers or something like that, right? Gas maker jobs. And you would get that crystal directly with those jobs. This doesn't do that. This just takes your normal metallurgists, your normal artisans. They keep making consumer goods and alloys, but they also make a little bit of that rare resource at the expense of a lot more minerals. So bear that in mind, that if we go to Fula, let's see, not Fula, bad example. Yeah, here's a good example. This is Isius Prime, our mining world. But if we go up to our jobs, we have 100 artisans, no metallurgists. If we were to, say, scrap the luxury residence and put in the chemical plant, which we could do, it would make almost no resources. It would make almost no volatile motes because we would only have 100 artisans. If we had no artisans, like let's go to Ecclesiastical World. Here we go. Let's see what these guys have. Here we go. Castor Prime, better example. No artisans, no metallurgists. I could plop the building down right here instead of one of these temples, and it would do 0 for us. We would get nothing for it. So that may not be immediately obvious. I mean, I know I always hear from like way better Stellaris YouTubers than me that go, read the number 1 tip to Stellaris is read the tooltips, dummy. Because I'm only saying that because I made that mistake where I was just like, oh, I was going to put these buildings everywhere. And it's going like, it's not doing anything. Yeah, you got to read. You got to read the tooltips to understand the game. So, yeah, live and learn. Okay, let's run that clock forward. There's not a whole lot for us to do except get through as many years as we can right now. And I am watching for warships. Oh, you know what? I may turn on the exotic, the crystal focusing sensors again because... No, not focusing crystals. Crystalline sensors. There we go. Those pop back up. And I'm just waiting for a warship, a war fleet to come in. Like maybe our fleet here at Troidum can draw out one of their fleets. I don't know. Here we go. What did we just research? We just got Starholds. That is very good. We've been waiting for Starhold technology. I'll tell you what the bummer there is that means we need a lot of alloys now. We have a handful of star bases, 9 of them, 9 star bases up here. We're primarily using them for economic, resource generation. So Starhold will improve that. It gives us more module and building slots. Makes them a bit tougher. Not that we really care about that for our economic ones, but we need a whole boat ton of alloys now to upgrade them. So we're going to look at that in a moment. But otherwise, let's choose new research. Synthetic crystal plant. Yes, that is exactly what we need. That will give us the space nuts, which is what we desperately need. So if I look up real quickly, material workshop, that's technology. Basic strikecraft would be useful. Autocannon would be useful. Crystal infused plating would be useful. But we 100% want the synthetic crystal plant. We'll have it in 40 months. That's good, and that will help finally resolve the paucity. Is that the dearth our economy has in generating rare crystals? It's all the big names, all the big words I use so much. Okay, let's, before I forget, jump to our star bases real quickly. Let's go to, the trick is, do I want to build up our Ditram, Dwumgar, and Edelmar first, just because those are our defensive star bases? Yeah, let's do it. I'd rather be a little prepared. So the cost is 450 alloy. That's perfect. I can actually click out 3 of those right now. So let's let's hit these, because what I want to do is get like more weaponry slots in these ones. So we'll upgrade here. We'll go to Dwumgar, we'll upgrade there, and we'll go to Edelmar, and we'll upgrade there. Now, the very nice thing is, these are going to take, how long to upgrade? Crap, I was not paying attention. 480 days, so a year and a half, approximately. And underneath our government and edicts, you can see that we have Fortify the Border, always on, Starbase upgrade speed, plus 50%. Bonus to us. So we can terraform quicker, and we can certainly upgrade our star bases quicker. But we're more or less out of alloys for the time being. So those are going to be cooking. Our terraforming is cooking. Let's go to the Senate's now in session. What are we looking at here, folks? Up next is Charter the Workers' Rights. We have a thumbs up on that currently. This is diplomatic weight from POPs plus 20%, worker happiness plus 5%, worker political power plus 0.1 of whatever workers have. I don't think I really care. We're spiritualist pacifists. It doesn't bother me. That looks really good. I think we have one of the larger populations in the game. So I'll take it. I'll take it. And it looks like it'll pass handily. The only people against it are the Talacuran. Okay, I don't know why, but yeah, that looks good to me. Run that clock forward. And in general, I just want to keep an eye on alloy. I want to build that up. I have to sneeze really bad. I'm not going to. Consumer goods are hovering around 0, which is okay. We have plenty in our piggy bank here. Listen, we could use more energy. We're only at 1,000 in our piggy bank. That's not as much as we should have. Why is that so low? Because we've been running terraforming projects. They take just straight energy. We'll build it up. We're building it plus 40. That's good. Tons of minerals in reserve in our piggy bank. A good amount of food. A good amount of consumer goods. Good amount of trade. So we're doing okay. But we got to take care of the consumer goods. We'll take a look at what's going on with that. First thing is we'll jump into the market. We could buy some. We can't buy a lot. Let's see. We can buy at 2.6. You know, our trade is just the plus 15 in trade is pretty thin margin. Let's figure out how to get more artisans working. See if we can improve it that way. So it can hover around 0 for now. It's not going to hurt us. So we'll call that good. We have a new trait here, the Reformer trait from Bagugi. Very cool name. What a hideous monstrous alien here. Reformer. Monthly unity plus 5%. Governing ethics attraction plus 35. Okay, so Bagui is specifically an official. And that means that they're really bad at doing this job on this plan. No, they're not. It's an industrial world. This is tough. Bagui helps with alloy and consumer good production as a level 4 leader. They're giving us plus 8% to both of those. That's good. But unfortunately, Reformer's going to waste that plus 5 unity. That would be in effect as a counselor. Oh, they're the Minister of State. Oh, never mind. That works. That's awesome. That's empire-wide plus 5%. So I don't have to change anything. And it means that our handful of ecclesiastical worlds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, do we have a lot of ecclesiastical centers. That's the name of the game, folks. That's what we're about. And here's a tradition available. We're moving through a pretty good clip. Remember, we're generating a pretty hefty amount of unity for our little, medium grade playthrough here. Medium grade on my part. What do we got there? 2 options available. Harmonious directives. That's a plus 50 to edict fund. That does nothing for us, unfortunately. We have unlimited edict fund. We don't need that. And we have stability plus 5%. Colony ascension costs minus 10%. It's not bad. With any luck, we'll be closing in on ascension pretty soon. We should take a look at that. It'd be nice to ascend planets. In particular, you can use your excess unity for that, and we should have a lot by the time we get to that. So let's just click that for now because we'll take the plus 5 stability. Yes, we're 32 months out from our next pick, so we're making progress. Having 4 ecclesiastical worlds is really pushing that forward at a pretty brisk clip. I like that. Let's look at 2 things real quick here. These worlds are Tundra World and Tomb World. We can terraform Helios 3 once we have enough energy. 5,000 credits. Okay. I could buy it outright. Should I do that? Do I want to? Yeah, I do want to do that. Hold on. Let's jump to the market. Let's jump to energy. We could buy 5,000 right now. We take all of our trade. Let's do a little swap out. Let's sell 5,000 minerals. We got way more minerals than me. Let's just sell 5,000 to get us some surplus trade. Jump over to energy. Buy 5,000 energy. Boom. And we will upgrade to what? Desert world or ocean world? What's our preference? Hold on. Just a sec. What is our preference? I literally don't know. Fula is a desert world. So we're going to upgrade to desert. Jump back here to Helios. Terraform. Desert world. It's going 2,400. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a third off. That's not half off. I'm not understanding the 50% reduction thing, but from our terraforming guesses, whatever. Run the clock. So this is cool. We have 3 worlds terraforming. Then the nice thing about going from the 8 colonies, remember we lost a colony, right? One got destroyed into a tomb world here at Realtree, unfortunately.
Has established communications.
But once we get these 3 extra colonies rolling, we can diversify and specialize our colonies more. We can have our mining world, our factory world, our was it alloy world? It's not an industrial world. What's it called? I think it's called an alloy forge world, right? Hold on. Let's see. What we're gonna have is we're gonna have a mining world, yes. A generator world, yes. A forge world, a factory world. That's 4 of them. And then we have ecclesiastical centers, a bunch of them. That's cool. We don't want a tech world. Anything else we would want? Do we need an agri world? Not really. Do we need an urban world? Not really. I would say we go with 2 forge worlds, though. Yeah, we'll keep this factory world, and then we'll change Elisa Prime from an industrial, which is combo, to just forge. We'll take one of the other colonies and make them a second forge world. So we're going to be going heavy into Unity with our ecclesiastical worlds, and heavy into Unity with 2 or maybe 3 forge worlds. We'll see, because Alloy is the name of the game now. Between our star bases and the fact that we keep pushing up our fleet power, it'll be well worth it. But here we go. New technology. This is shields. What level shields? Just level 1? These new shields generators represent the next generation of energy screens, replacing the older deflector technology. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got rid of deflectors. We have shields now. Cool. New research. Blue laser. Yeah, I think we're going for kinetics more than lasers. We have the mining drone laser, which is good at bypassing shields, I think. It does extra damage to armor and hull. So it's pretty good. We don't need the laser. We don't want the dynamic field center. Shield capacitor, that is an auxiliary slot, which gives you 10% bonus to your shield points. And reactor booster. Barrier point defense, level 2. That would be much more useful when we get to larger ships. The corvettes, the frigates, the destroyers don't really, I think, have room for point defense. I think you got to get to a cruiser before a point defense, like P right here. This red P, point defense, is questionable. What else do we have here? Colony development speed, plus 50%. Do we bite the bullet? I mean, we're going to have 3 new colonies pretty shortly. I just don't care about saving a half of a year or a third of a year. If 50% is not actually 50% reduction. Yeah, what are you doing? Or is the issue that it's plus 50%? Is that what it is? If you're at 100% and you add 50%, is that what's going on? Look, 50%, 50%, 150%. That's how we're getting the 3. So it's not cutting in half, it's speeding it up by 50%, which would be 1/3 more, not half as much. I've answered my own question. It's not minus 50%, it's plus 50%. Okay, now I'm the dummy. Now I'm just the mean guy who's making fun of Paradox because I didn't understand how math works. Fudge. Okay. We also have some technology stuff. I don't want any of this. I don't want it. None of these look that great. I'm sorry, I'm equivocating. We just got to go with something. Let's go for the dark matter harvesting? Yeah, 53 months out. Let's shoot for the moon. I don't know what we need dark matter for, but we'll harvest some. It'll be great.
Spaceborne life
I don't even know.
form.
Do we even have a place to harvest it? Yeah, right there. Okay. And we encountered a spaceborne life form somewhere? Not sure where that's at.
Construction complete.
All right, we upgraded our star bases, our defensive ones. Let's go to Ditchroom real quick here. Yeah, what else can we squeeze in here? We have our single shipyard. That's all we really need. We don't need a massive ability to build shipyards just at the moment. We're looking good on our energy and our trade. We got 2 more module slots. That's good. You know what? Let's throw in not an anchorage. We don't need the naval cap. Let's throw in a gun battery because again, these are defensive. And you know what? Let's save the solar panels and the trade hubs for our industrial star bases. So at this point, let's throw in the anchorage to get us a little more naval capture. And then for buildings, let's throw in the crew quarters because when we bring our fleets back, it will save us 25% on which one was it? Right there. Crew quarters. Dock ship upkeep minus 25%. So it reduces the energy costs and other incidental costs of housing the fleet there. So that's good. That was that one. Let's look at this one. Similar thing. Let's get another gun battery. We don't need a shipyard here at Dwumgar. I think we're building our ships at Edelmar, I believe. And let's throw an anchorage in. And we don't need the crew quarters here because, again, we don't have a fleet at Dwumgar. What would be handy for defending ourselves? Target uplink computer, ship weapon range plus 50, communication jammer. Combat disengagement chances reduced, sublight speed reduced, disruption, shield points minus 20%. Ooh, I like that. No, let's do the weapons range. That way it's harder for them to sneak around our starbase. When your starbase is in an unusual place relative to the hyperlanes, fleets can sneak around. But with that big boost to our weapons range, it'll be a lot harder for them to get to sneak by us. So I think that's reasonable. And that was this one, yeah. And let's jump here. This is Edelmar, which does have a shipyard. Let's throw in another gun battery and let's throw in another anchorage. And we'll jump in here and we'll throw in our crew quarters because we do, in fact, have fleets here at Edelmar. Okay, pretty good. And we have not enough alloy to do another improvement. Castor Prime is ready to upgrade their capital building. There we go. Anyone else? Not really. Okay. Let's do a quick scan through. Let's start with Full Prime. We're just checking our stability. We're checking our crime. We're checking our housing. We're checking our amenities. We're checking our available jobs. We're kind of out of building space here. If I'm going to be really blunt. It wouldn't be a bad idea to tick back eventually these generator districts, the mining districts, and the agricultural districts, and strip them out of Fula to get more city districts. Now, we don't have a colony dedicated to generator districts yet, but we're going to have one within the next decade with our new colony, with our new terraforming worlds. But we have more than enough minerals. We could downgrade one of these. If we click up here on mining districts, it will bring this up and we can downgrade. It will take one of the 3 districts off. So check this out. Downgrade. It's 3 of 6. Yes, 2 of 6. What that did is it gave us a +1 districts available. We can now build a new city district, taking us from 9 to 10. And that'll essentially just get us additional physicists, biologists, engineers, priests, metallurgists, and artisans. The whole deal. There you go. So, a little trade. What can we do at Isius? Let's jump over. Good stability. No crime. Plenty of amenities. Plenty of housing. 19 jobs available. That's in the minor category. Cool. I don't think we need a whole lot else there. I guess we could build another archives. Yeah. Let's throw a temple in there. Let's go to Elisa Prime. Good stability, no crime, good housing, good amenities, tons of jobs available. These are falling into the artisan, medical worker, metallurgist, we'll just let those fill up. We don't need to mess with that for now. We don't have to poke that bear. Let's jump to Castor, Ecclesiastical Center. Stability good, crime good, housing, amenities, jobs available. Actually doing a fair amount of energy generation on Castor, which is good. I mean, eventually, I was just thinking we could build more there, but we're going to strip that out eventually and probably have a dedicated generator world. So if we overdo it all at once, when you're modifying your worlds, when you have all the worlds you want, meaning you've hit 8 or 10 or 15 worlds, you can have all the diversity and specializations of colonies that you want, which is different than the early game when you've only got like 4 worlds or 6 worlds. You can't hit everything. Be careful not to like rip out all your infrastructure because you will devastate your economy. You want to just do it 1 or 2 districts at a time, sprinkled around, and try and keep everything in balance. It doesn't take like a decade, yeah. But most of your buildings you can swap out in less than a year at this middle stage of the game. And so you can replace 5 to 10, 15 districts in buildings on a planet in a decade or so, thereabouts. So, but it takes 10 to 20 years to get it all done. And then you'll be teed in really nicely. One little thing that I've been doing lately in my own playthroughs is rather than using names like Fula, Isius, Elisa Prime, Castor Prime, I've been just renaming them to like physics, to alloys, to consumer goods, the name itself. Because like when you look at Fula here, you can't at a glance, because Fula is currently building, you can't tell what kind of world, what kind of designation it is. And a lot of times you're developing and you can't see that. So I like to at a glance just be able to see Tech 1, Tech 2, or Alloy 1, Alloy 2, Alloy 3, Food 1, Food 2. I can keep count very quickly by numbering them like Food 1, Food 2, Food 3, how many of a given number of planets I have. So if you're playing a game where you have like 20 plus colonies, it's really helpful. It's a very smooth way. Is it as thematic and roleplay worthy to have generic names like Food 1 for your colony? No, but it's a really quick way to know where you're at and what you need more of and what you need less of. Okay, it's just an idea. But yeah, Castor Prime though, they could use another building district. There you go. Boom. Throw that in there. We have plenty of minerals. What else do we have? Let's keep going. We just have a couple more. Wegmore Prime. Stability's good. Crime's good. Housing's good. Amenities good. No jobs available. So we do want to keep working on that. Let's go to our civilian industry. Do we have anything that can upgrade that? Not really. Do we need a chemical plant? Not really. +5 is good enough for now. So let's just do an additional building district. Just one more district, and that will get us 100 extra artisans. Oh, and let's switch this over to specialization to civilian industries. This will compound with the other civilian industries so that each city district yields 200 extra artisans instead of 100. So we will build that. And actually, let's switch that up. It'll take roughly the same amount of time, approximately. Yeah, it's quicker actually. So once that specialization's done, it's going to drastically, it will go 3 times 100. We'll gain 300 extra artisan jobs immediately when that's done, and then we'll get the city district. Let's keep going real quick. We're almost done. Jarrell War. Stability's good. Crime, housing, amenities, no jobs. It's Ecclesiastical Center. Obviously, we need more priests. Same thing here. Let's we have 4 districts built, but let's get another spiritual enclave popped in there. And that will then take this to 200 priest jobs for every district. And I'll put in another district there rather than just 100 per. Let's advance again. Here's Troidum. Great stability. No crime. Good housing. Good amenities. A little bit of unemployment. Yeah, because we need more priest juice. So let's do our same thing. Spiritual Enclave. Build a new district. Advance to the next one. Uproth. Stability is massive at 99. No crime. Plenty of housing. Plenty of amenities. And colonist jobs. Not that we really need them. But yeah, we can't do the next specialization yet because we can't do that until our planetary capital is upgraded. We're closing in on that. They should have it pretty quickly. Let's go to management. Yeah, they're growing at +3. 2 from natural growth, 1 from migration. So in a year or two, they'll get it. I'm not going to mess with it. For the time being, though, let's just build another district, and let's put another spiritual... Let's put another temple in there. There you go. I wonder if automation buildings can fill in priests. This doesn't make sense. Let's see here. Automation building. Automated workforce for this district plus 25%? For city districts? That's for like clerks and scientists and priests? Truly. It doesn't say workers, it says workforce. Now I don't know. The base upkeep, though, for that is 40 energy. It's a very expensive building. I'll have to look into automation buildings more. I've used automated buildings like on a generator world or a mining world. It makes sense. For instance, let's jump back to Isius. Oh, why can't we specialize that? What's going on? Mineral purification. Whoa, that's weird. Hold on. Oh, we don't have the ability. Why can't we do that? District specialization. No. Sorry. I can't believe it. We don't have the. We need mineral purification. Crap. That's the technology we're gonna have to grab. Are we working on that? I'm so sorry. I'm totally distracted. Okay. We're going to want to hunt that down because we do want the ability to improve that. The only one we've unlocked so far is the generator district thing. We're real dullards when it comes to technology. But otherwise, I think we looked at everyone. Yeah, everyone except Lisa Prime is currently building something. And even them, let's just throw in a building slot there. Let's throw in a couple. Okay. Run that clock forward. Sorry. I know that was super boring. But, yeah. Terraforming's going on. We can improve some more trade hubs. Here we go. We'll just be slowly improving the starholds as we click these over. We're running the clock as fast as we can now. And I don't see any fleets in here, unfortunately. Strange reports from Monzu 4. This is probably a mid-game event, if I had to guess. We're receiving strange reports from our observers above Monzoon 4. One of the native kingdoms has rallied under a mysterious religious figure, and we have seen evidence of them using advanced technology far beyond their current level of development. Could this be related to our missing scientist? Curious. The Etherean society advances to the industrial age, increases awareness by 30. Crap. That's at Monzoon 4, right there. Here we go. The awareness of the Etherean society and Monzoon system is increased to partially aware. Yeah, one of our scientists has gone rogue and has probably set themselves up as a religious prophet there using technology. Total sociopath, total psychopath. But it is what I would do in their case. I would make myself a god of those people. 100%. Here's Monzoon 4, Industrial Age. Stability. Yeah, look at these old primitive farms. Basic factories, urban joys. What does a basic factory do? It does produce a little bit of consumer goods and a little bit of alloy for minerals. That's really cool, actually. I so rarely ever look at these. Primitive mine produces a little bit of minerals, a little bit of energy. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Habitability is 18%, so it's kind of useless to us. I'm not exactly sure how we go to the observation post, right? No. Management. Economy, armies, holdings. That's kind of cool. You actually can get a pretty good look at what they're doing here. There's the soldiers. They are... Oh, there you go. Look, we have biological information on them. They're good miners. They're extra habitability. Resettlement's extremely expensive because they're sedentary. And they use extra pop housing. Okay, fantastic. They're alpine based. That'll help us. I'm not sure though why I can't see the observation post. What's the click, 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 click? No. Close that. Or let's click right there. There we go. Passive observation is yielding society research plus 10, which is good. Etherean society, industrial age, energy -1. I'm just not seeing where I would notice their Intel. That's us of them. Infiltration level. How do I see their awareness? Oh, right here. Partially aware. Okay, here we go. Current awareness is 39. At the start of this month, their awareness was 40. All right. And I'm not exactly sure. Monthly change is -1 awareness, so it'll drop. Questioning. Okay, industrial age. Oh, and this is how you can see the progress bar. So they are, you can see the different ages here, right? From like Stone Age up through to wherever. I don't know how far it goes, but this civilization is advanced in the equivalent of an early industrial age. Electricity and internal combustion engines are gradually coming into widespread use, while urbanization increases at a rapid pace. So they're making their way through the industrial age. They'll go to the next tier on this. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, we'll run the clock. Just wanted to take a quick look at that. Over the last decade, Paradox has put so many details into these games. It's really quite exceptional. Let's go to Rigel Station real quick. We'll kick that over. Starbase upgrade. And we have just a few more to go. Well, we need 2,000 more alloys for 4 more of these. So we're getting there. What do we have? Resource storage full on our influence. Okay, we'll dismiss that. We'll talk about that in just a moment. New trait from Ivory Morgan, Shipwright. That helps us build ships faster? Yeah. Ship build speed 10? Okay. Good. We're not really building ships right now, but it's not a bad thing. So let's... Oh, crap. What was the thing that just popped up that I said I was going to talk about? And then I just completely forgot what it was. Resource storage full. Influence. Yes. So normally, if you weren't playing a pacifist, you could make claims, whether you're at war or not, on the star systems around you. Now, making claims on a Xeno Empire's territory will make them more hostile to you. It kind of hurts your relations with them. In our case, we would want to use our... We've capped out our influence. There's no way to store more than 1,000, so we're just wasting it now. We theoretically would want to come in here and go to our claims menu and make claims on their systems one after another, after another, after another, bit by bit. Not necessarily burning all of it, but maybe spending 500 at a time. Make 4 or 5 claims, 6 claims, make the claim, boom. And that way, by the time you hit like the mid-game or the late mid-game, you could have claimed every territory in your enemy's territory. And when they go to war with you or you go to war with them, and you capture those systems, you can just gobble them up. So that's something we haven't really been able to demonstrate because we're playing a pacifist playthrough. In particular, there's nothing we can do. I don't know that there's anything else to spend influence on, except for maybe decisions on colonies. Let's take a look at that real quick, since we have the influence. Let's jump to Fula. Let's go to decisions. Declare population controls. No. Distribute luxury goods. This isn't bad. This improves the destination automatic resettlement chances for a world. It takes consumer goods, though, not influence. So that doesn't help us out. Artifacts, consecrate world, takes unity, expel excess population. Okay. Oh, crap. I just realized something. We are terraforming some of these planets, but some of these might be consecrated worlds. I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest. Let's just look. How can we tell? Yes, right here. Consecrated, venerated world. I may get rid of that. I don't know if there's a way to remove it. Is there decision? Unconsecrate. Yeah, we may do that here shortly. We may do that shortly because I'll tell you what's way more valuable than a consecrated world giving us 20 unity, whatever it is an entire ecclesiastical world giving us 100 unity. And here's another consecrated world. So I most likely will undo those. I don't think those are going to help us. It would be really nice if we could consecrate one of the free Estranian worlds. I think that would be fun as heck. Run the clock.
Complete.
Run the clock. Here we go. A couple more star bases done. Let's jump in here. Oh no, the development's done. Development's done. That's all. Okay, run the clock. Our food is taking a massive hit right now. Because our pop is growing. Yeah, population's growing. So we're going to take care of food next. Well, let's look at it real quick. Market. We're selling 5 food. Well, might as well just remove that. That's not really helping us. We'll cancel, remove that. It's going to take our trade to pretty much like tight. We could buy less energy, not much less. And I'm going to take that down a little bit just to try and even out our trade. We're going to get tight on energy. We're tight on trade. We're tight on consumer goods. And this is going to hit us into food here pretty badly. Let's take a look real quick at the tradition pick. Here we go. Here's our final one. Harmonious directives. We take it. Yes, that caps off harmony. And that gives us colony ascension effects plus 25%. Gives us the ascension pick. Pretty much... Oh, well, not... Most things are unlocked at this point. I can see World Shaper is not ready yet. Requires climate restoration. And Eternal Vigilance requires Star Fortress. Okay. So in the meantime, which of these is useful? Defender of the Galaxy. Damage to Endgame Crisis plus 50%. We are only 28 years out from our end game. If that hits, I don't know if it will or not. Grasp the Void would give us some star bases. Galactic Contender. Extra diplomatic weight, extra damage against fallen empires, awakened empires, and gate builders. I don't know if we're going to go to war with any fallen empires. On a very short playthrough like this, there's almost no way for us to challenge a fallen empire by year 150. I mean, like a really good player could do it, but I can't. Technological Ascendancy, no. Master of Nature. Maybe. It does give us +2 max districts. Kind of like that. Imperial Prerogative. It's not really that useful. Executive Vigor, we don't need it for the Edict Fund. Don't get me wrong, the Council Agenda Speed plus 15% is not bad, but it's not a game changer. Transcendent Learning, Leader Experience Gain plus 25, Leader Upkeep minus 15, 2 extra Scientists. We don't really need Scientists right now for our Science ships. And Shared Destiny. Subject Specialization Conversion Times minus 20%, Available Envoys plus 2, Subject exempt from divided patronage. Maybe. I wouldn't mind having more envoys. We could use them to fiddle more with improving relations and stuff like that. It could be good. Here's what I think would be more useful right now, though, is maybe Galactic Contender. Get the diplomatic weight. That's questionable. None of these are that good for us. I don't want to take Defender of the Galaxy yet. We're just not ready for the end game, so that's just not going to help out. So what's going to do? What's going to do us the most? Let's do Shared Destiny, just because we're playing a political empire. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. None of those are that great. Let's run the clock forward a little bit. It actually looks like we're ready to upgrade another station. We'll do that right there. Boom. Council Agenda is available. Higher Purpose is working. We're going to let that finish. We don't, just so you know, whenever the Council Agenda is available, that just means available agendas here. If I click Infinite Opportunities, it's going to cancel Higher Purpose, which we are currently 8 years into. So don't do that. Let Higher Purpose finish, then we can come up here and trigger the Infinite Opportunities. So be cautious. I've done that. It sucks. What do we finish here? Starbase completion. This is at Ordetis. All right, and this is a commercial station. So yeah, a couple things we can do here. Let's go to our building right now. We are already getting Nebula Refinery. Let's get hydroponics. That will help with our food immediately. That's yielding 11 total food. That's really good. And here we go. Yeah, we could use more energy, and we could use a bit more trade. I'm out of alloys. Hold on. Let's run the clock forward. There we go. In trade. So we're just kind of doing a balance of solar panels, trade hubs, food, minerals. It's really useful for us. And close that down. So what we'll do then is our star bases finish, we should be able to rectify most of these shortcomings pretty easily. So we have solutions just in the nick of time. Here we go. Diplomatic weight plus 10%. That should pair well with the thing we did. Maybe not. Sorry. Embassy complex. What does that do first? Hold on. Limit one of these buildings per planet. It takes 1 space nut or 0.9 upkeep per month. So we got to be a little careful. Available envoy +1 and politician jobs +100. Politicians turn consumer goods into unity and amenities. Okay, yeah, we could do that. We got to be careful until we get the ability to make these the rare crystals. It's not a good idea to build that building, but I'll take it. We have some blockers we could start working on. Blockers, heritage site. I think we're going to want to get the heritage site first. That's going to give us even more unity from our jobs that produce unity. Yeah. And it produces 2, sorry, I'm trying to mouse in it. Produces 2 unity for each ascension perk our empire has taken. That's at a base, whether, because no one works the monument. But we're at 5 ascensions, so times 2 would be 10 unity per, plus the bigger bonus. So I do want the heritage site next. It's a little bit better than anything else we had an option for. Otherwise, yeah, I'm waiting for more star bases to cap off here. These ones are doing their things, making little improvements. There we go. Here. And this is Rigel. Again, this is economics. So where are we at? Let's get a little more solar power. I think we'll be okay on trade. Let's do 2 solar powers. Let's jump down to our buildings. Let's turn the hydroponic farms. And what did we get here? Favor gained from the Freestwanians. Cool. We keep gaining favors from them. Oh, hold on. Warship right there. Freestwanian, Galactic Core. Here, this one. Ah, shit. Yeah. Not enough intel. We can sense the whole of the ship, but we can't sense. We can't see the details. Maybe if they were closer, like if we were in a war with them and we were like in the same star system, we probably could see what equipment was on there. So, maybe. In general, that's a pretty weak fleet. We got way more fleet power floating around here than they do right now. They're at about 2,100, 2,200, and we're sitting at well over 5,000. So we're looking good. Resolutions passed. That was collective something or other. Divinity of Life? Is that what it was? No. It was a blue one. Thought it was a blue one. Comfort the Fallen. No. All right. I'm overthinking it. I don't really care. It was based off of population, whatever it was. It was a bonus for population. What's up next though? Charter of Workers' Rights? No. What am I missing? Isn't this what was going to pass? Sorry, I'm kidding. A resolution has been passed. The Senate has voted on and passed the resolution collective waste management. Why? What am I not understanding here? Resolutions. I gotta find that. I don't even know what it does. Environmental technology and ecological protections. It's not there. No cooperative divinity of life. No. Give me sanctions. Just a second. I'm looking for collective waste management. Collective waste management. Diplomatic weight from economy +40. Okay, we like that. Extra alloys from jobs, extra minerals from jobs. Habitability -5. Worker resource output +5. That's really good. I didn't realize that was what we were voting on. Huh. Maybe I'm not quite understanding how the Senate works. Okay. Whatever. I really thought this was up next, the workers' rights, but I'm just not. Okay. Whatever. Maybe they put it up and then a certain amount of years go by and then they do the vote or something like that. Federation level unlocked. Ooh, new Federation perks. Excellent. We are level 3. So what do we gain here? Federal attaches. The arbiters of the Federation agenda, our envoys, are savvy and active in their efforts to improve the sense of belonging and mutual benefit between our members. Gain 2 unity and 5% trust growth for each official assigned to the Federation by any members. Okay. Is there a way to assign more than just Big Esmeralda? Maybe? We should assign as many officials as we can. Okay, what else do we got? Sorry. Interior lines, well-charted and patrolled hyperspace corridors within our territory permit unparalleled freedom of movement, allowing our navies to rapidly concentrate wherever required. Ship speed is increased by 10% while in Federation space. That's really useful. And sanctity of office. Rising to the highest office in our Federation is no royal coronation. It is a limitless commitment to service to all sentient life. Nevertheless, the presidency comes with a great deal of prestige. Federation influence gain +1. Okay, cool. I see we have Big Esmeralda sitting in there as our delegate right now. Do we want to edit any laws? Can we edit any laws? Federation centralization is set to low, but we could move it to medium. It adds 30 to the base in level of intel instead of 20, and setting it to a minimum of 80, or it'll go to 90 from 80. Okay. Monthly Federation cohesion -2 as opposed to -1. So yeah, essentially you have to be making sure that your cohesion is growing at higher rates the more controlling your Federation becomes over the disparate parts. So think of like Don't Tread on Me in the United States, where states' rights used to be well balanced against the power of the federal government, but over the centuries, the federal government has just ceaselessly chipped more and more power away from the states in the United States. So now the federal government has an excessive amount of authority relative to individual states. It kind of sucks for us. Definitely, when you concentrate power, it threatens the liberties of everyone else. You're way better off distributing power, checks and balances as much as possible in any form of government. So that's what they're trying to represent with this. That's why it matters. It's because of Stellaris politics is why that all matters so much. What else we got here? Can't change any of these. These are locked out. Succession term we don't want to change because we are not currently the president. Talacurans are currently the president, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Any other laws? No, that looks good for now. So, yeah. Run the clock. We got through quite a few years here. Well, not quite a few. Some. Where are we at on time? We're just at 1 hour. Okay. Orbital anomaly. A gravitational anomaly knocked our observation post over Monsoon 4 out of orbit, causing it to briefly drop into the planet's lower atmosphere. While our crew are unarmed and our original trajectory has been restored, there are concerns that the station could have been detected from the surface of Etheria. Only time will tell if we have been exposed to the locals and to what extent that will impact their society. Continued observations increases awareness by 10 again. Okay, that's at Monzon again, which is we've been looking at right there.
Construction complete.
All right, hold on. Is it Rigel? Fu Station is ready. Okay, let's keep pushing forward on our hydroponic bays. We're growing fast. Our food keeps getting offset here. And then, yeah, what can we throw in there? Let's throw in an anchorage. We're just trying to push up our naval cap. And let's get an additional solar panel array in there. Perfect. And it looks like we can upgrade another station. Let's upgrade Isia Station. We'll run that clock. And we have some terraforming wrapping up pretty shortly. We'll be able to deal with that on our next playthrough. That looks good. Actually, well, let's get some colony ships going real quickly before we get too far along. Let's wrap this up. We've been implicated in a plot against the Confederacy of Ur-Itha. Oh. Okay. So vague is the allegation that we cannot definitively state whether or not they're onto something. Our own spies protest that the allegations is baseless, claiming this is likely to either a defensive counter-espionage response from one of our targets or else a smear campaign being conducted by some third party. Whatever the reason or cause, the Confederacy of Ur-Itha has taken offense. Curious, their opinion of us has dropped by a -80. Okay, and then we have another issue, Sky Burial. This is definitely a mid-game thing. As we finished terraforming Eye of Free 3, bodies began falling from the sky. This is a terraforming thing, not a mid-game thing necessarily. From such heights, these ancient carcasses are reduced to a pulp upon impact. Amongst the viscera, we've discovered clusters of small objects, ornamental instruments, and odd relics, all tumbling from the same dense clouds in the planet's upper atmosphere. That is horrible. These thick clouds, which we can only assume were utilized as a final resting place by some unknown alien race, are now thinning as a result of our terraforming changes and releasing the contents that were previously suspended inside. We can expect these remains to continue falling as the atmosphere settles until the cloud graves are emptied entirely. That's monstrous. We have two options. Gruesome, yet potentially lucrative. Society research gained. Raining corpses mod added to the planet for 5 years. Consumer goods from worker jobs and society research per complex drones jobs plus 15%. Otherwise, habitability and happiness reduced. Probably not worth those hits, I don't think. Unsanitary, clear them out immediately. That will cost us energy and a ton of trade. I don't want to go into a trade deficit. I mean, no. We're just going to have to gut it. It'll only last 5 years, so it's not the best choice, but it is what we're going to do here. Click that. Pause that. So yeah, we have 2 new worlds here. Desert world. Let's just hit colonize, and the Babaki people are the best people. We will click that. Hopefully we have enough alloy. Colonize. Koronagi Prime. Yes, go time. So this would be a great place to rename Koronagi 3A to... We look at this and say, oh, is it good for generators? Does it have any specials? What do we want to do with it? And you would like rename it, Forge 1 or Forge 2, something like that. But for now, that's good. And then the other one was Erefrifi. We have the Raining Corpses. We have a Consecrated World. Yeah, I think we need to unconsecrate it. What happens if we... I don't know if it'll make our people unhappy. Let's try this. We can go to the decision. We can unconsecrate it. But let's not. Let's see if we can colonize it. With Babaki at 70%. Colonize. Maybe because no one's on the planet yet, we're not hitting a deficit. I have a feeling it may impact this spiritual happiness. Maybe some of our factions. We'll take a look at that. We can always unconsecrate it. Again, having a whole colony is way more valuable than having one consecrated planet. There's no way around it. So we have colony ships going. I think that's a perfect place to stop for today. We have Helios. We'll finish terraforming. We will finish the last couple starbase conversions. And ultimately, that should straighten out all of our resources. Should be in pretty good balance. So what we will wait for on our next playthrough here, we're just going to upgrade these capital buildings real quickly. Once these final 3 planets are done terraforming and are fully colonized, which will just take a couple of years, we will then reassign our 11 total colonies and sort them out and start that process. So the next episode or two will probably be sort of rejiggering all those planets. It is what it is. And we're 26 years out now from Endgame. If you watched, thank you so much, folks. Take care.